year. So I've been watching this show on and off for at least a month or two. And the reason why is a lot of anime on my plate and my backlog I want to catch up on. I also want to make a video, or at least a stream, on the time I got reincarnated. I can't even talk. The time I got reincarnated as a slime. Gotta work on the World of Colors eventually. And then another series. Oh yeah, Idol Master, but baby steps. So here's the whole premise of this show. A kid really cares about Kabuki, but the show keeps emphasizing this whole idea. People today, especially high schoolers, don't really care about Kabuki. It's a traditional art form. And to them, they think it's too hard to understand. And it's boring. So, one of the main characters, named Kuru, wants to do... I can't even say his name. Kuru, how you want to say it. He wants to get more people into Kabuki. And he wants to make Kabuki Club. I was appreciation for the art form. But the thing is, while Kabuki is supposed to be for the audience to enjoy, there's certain rules to it. It's not supposed to be super simplified. And the thing is, the reason why most people in the show that are high schoolers say it's boring, in their mind they're more interested in drama, theater. Yes, I understand that Kabuki matters. It's interesting. But there's nothing about that draws them to it. They'd rather watch a play. So what Carl wants to do, and he's trying to do each and every episode, is get his classmates, and then young people in general, to appreciate the beauty of Kabuki. And so far, he's making great strides. But there's one guy in the school, I think his name is Irabara. His whole problem is because he does Kabuki professionally, he has really high standards. And he thinks Kabuki performed by professionals. Which is kind of funny because some old people that are into Kabuki, who go to Kabuki, they said the whole point of Kabuki is amateurs can do it, but you're not going to expect much from amateurs. And Kabuki has certain rules to it. And if you take away certain things like make it super easy to understand, it's not Kabuki anymore. And then they were saying something like Kabuki can be in acts, like Act 1 and 2. And what I liked about the latest episode I saw, which was episode 8 or 9, it was showing us that the reason why a lot of high schoolers don't like Kabuki is kind of like, imagine Shakespeare made a play, talked super slow in the play, and then everyone's cross-dressing, and stuff is happening, but they're using big words that most people don't use in everyday lives. What do you think is going to happen? They're not going to be as interested. And that's the whole problem with Kabuki for a lot of the high schoolers. And even people who go to Kabuki with their grandparents, they say the same thing. Kabuki, it's alright, but they only really watch it if like their favorite person is in it. And in this series, there's a girl named, I forgot her name right now. I think it's Karu. Everyone likes her because she's really good at acting. So when they learn that she's in the drama club and she's in the Kabuki club, they go to both just for her. So they call her Karo Senpai, Karo Sama. And she likes Kabuki because she realized that a lot of it is actually pretty good. Because Kabuki is pretty much an ancient entertainment form. Only problem is, like I'm saying, people know what it is. And there's like a barrier to it, and that's why a lot of people so far in this series, even if they're familiar with it, they never really tried to engage with it long enough to say, oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, I like this about it. That's okay, yada yada. And I'm just so happy that I'm seeing series like this, because I'm really interested in Japan as a culture, not just a language. So seeing stuff like Kabuki and all this other stuff, it shows me that Japan anime has come a long way. So even if you don't know anything about Japan, you can at least get an idea of how things work by watching shows like this. And I feel like the purpose of the show was to show people that just because something's from Japan doesn't mean everybody in Japan, especially younger people, are with it. They like it a lot. So like about that episode in particular, the reason why a lot of people in the show may be aware of Kabuki but not really go to the plays maybe to them it's just not that entertaining compared to watching like a TV show, watching a movie. And even if someone gets them to go, it's because it's the grandparent and they like Kabuki, that's where they're going. And they can watch it, but because they're like, oh, bear, because all the big words they use, the exaggerated movements, maybe the cross dressing, they're just like, no, they're just old and stuffy. But I like how, as every episode goes by, even the people before did not really care about Kabuki, they're at least like, okay, let me at least check it out, let me give it an actual chance. And it kind of reminds me of how I feel as an anime fan. Some shows are generally not for me. So when I see it, I can look at the memes it spawns and say, okay, interesting, but I don't want no part of it. So by seeing this Kabuki show, I'm starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, there's always a way to approach things. And if you want to get anybody into anything, you gotta do it baby steps. You gotta at least give them a solid reason why to care about something, and they'll care. But if you don't give people a solid reason, at least walk them through it, no matter what you do, you can't get people to try new things. Just need exposure to it. And the latest episode proved it. Because their bar guy, he was mad about it, because he was like, Kabuki's not supposed to be performed by amateurs, and it's not supposed to be fun. It's an ancient art treated as such. And his whole big thing why he didn't want to join the Kabuki Club, he thought it was pointless because why would amateurs perform Kabuki like they know the history of it? They know what it's about. And they're just fans. So it kind of reminds me a lot of the anime industry or anime fans in general. There's some shows that you can't easily get into because you understand references, and there's a lot to that show that makes it good. So if you just watch casually, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff, a lot of the jokes, the references they make, the memes, what those lines mean, yada yada. But if you have a friend that tells you, here's what you need to know to enjoy this show, give you tips and tricks on understanding some of the complex ideas in the show, you're set. And I think this was actually a good idea for an anime, because if it was just like a short, I don't think it'd be as interesting. My friend Dion told me to watch this. He at least recommended it before. And I always remembered the art style of it, but I never knew what the name was. Didn't remember the name. So that kept me away for a bit. So I was on Amazon and I decided to watch. And it's on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's on Crunchyroll. It could be on Crunchyroll. But let me look. Kabuki. Is it on Crunchyroll? It wouldn't surprise me if it was. On Mal, I gave it a 6.6. No, 6.64. It is... Where is it on? Let me see. Alright, so I don't think it's on Crunchyroll. It's not popping up. Let me see. No, it's not on Crunchyroll. So I guess if you want to watch it, you have to use Amazon Prime. Or maybe it's on Verve. Well, for me, the show, it's not the best I've seen. I'll give it, I want to say like a C+. It's good if you want to learn about ancient art from Japan. But other than that, if you're not really interested in Kabuki, I can't see anyone just watching this show to watch it. Maybe for the comedy, but I've seen better.